We really believe that live in-club experience is a pinnacle. That's what our business ultimately is looking to inspire, because it's about connection and community. We're a human business and we love personal human connection. And we know customers are looking for convenience, which allows them to work out around their lives. We want to fill studios, and we want to be making sure that those customers can be served at home or if they're on the road when they're traveling. And we're passionate about growing the industry as a whole.
Welcome back to the Fitt Insider podcast. I'm your host, Joe Veneri. Today I'm joined by Les Mills CEO Clive Ormerod. In this episode, we discuss the company's 50-year history in the fitness industry, the evolution of its omnichannel offering from in-club and instructor training to digital and VR content. Plus, we talk about the power of community and building a fitter planet. Let's get into it. Hi, Clive. Welcome to Fitt Insider. Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure. How's it, Joe? Thanks for having me, mate.
Yeah, looking forward to this conversation. A ton to talk about from the fitness world and everything that you've all been up to. But maybe just to kick things off, can you introduce yourself and tell us about Les Mills?
Yeah, sure. So my name's Clive Ormerod. I'm the group CEO for Les Mills. We're a global fitness company making fitness content that we choreograph to music, and we work with clubs, gyms, instructors, and consumers all around the world to help motivate people and to get them active.
Yeah, it's really incredible, and it's awesome and kind of like coming full circle in some ways for me to have this conversation. Originally in my career and my entrance into fitness was in like local YMCAs and in like community recreation centers. And for folks that come from that world, obviously Les Mills is a huge name. The instructors, the kind of brand, and I think now bringing that into this conversation where we talk to so much focused on tech and other aspects of the wellness industry. Very excited to kind of get the update on everything that's been in the works. But maybe it's just like a quick background. Yeah. Can you talk about it's, kind of not new, right? Not a new business, been around quite a while, and where things kind of stand today?
Absolutely. Yeah, not a new business at all. I mean, we've been around for over 50 years. We've been looking to perfect our craft for over 50 years. And at the core of what we do, we talk about being a content business. We want to make the world's best fitness content that inspires customers all around the world to work out. But at the core of really what we do, our mission is creating what we call a fitter planet. And creating a fitter planet stands for getting people active, which is healthy people, and then creating a fitter planet, which is healthy planet. And that's about planting trees. That's about combating climate change. And that's about making sure that we have a planet for the future, for those that are around us today, but also into the future. So we're passionate about creating a place that the world that is going to be better for the long term. And central to that is inspiring and motivating people to work out, to amazing content and fitness, choreography, and making sure that our music really helps get people off the couch into studios, working out at home. We love our instructor business as well, which is around making sure we have a community of instructors all around the world that just love teaching people and inspiring people. And then most recently, we ventured into the direct-to-consumer business industry as well. And we've been playing in that space for a while, but ultimately we think we've got all the tools, all the assets to create that omnichannel fitness experience. So yeah, like you said, we've been around for 50 years. We're a family-held business, which means that we're really authentic around what we want to do and how we want to do it. We've got heart, we've got passion, we've got soul, and it is ultimately about helping the world be a better place.
Yeah, it's so much coming together as you think about those things and the kind of evolution. You mentioned, creating fitness content and having that, getting into the digital side and then the omnichannel. How do you think about the different components of the business? I think if we take a step back 2 years ago, pre-COVID, right? I feel like a lot of operators were wrestling with this. How do we maintain whatever their version of in-studio is, and the instructors being central to that experience, Absolutely. But also wanting to like offer something from a digital side, recognizing that, again, pre-COVID, consumers were still kind of craving convenience and that connection outside the four walls of the studio. So is there a difference in terms of how you thought of that then and now, or was it just kind of a natural evolution and maybe got there faster?
It's been a natural evolution for us, but I think it's helped the industry get there faster. I think that's been one of the biggest shifts. We've been pushing omnichannel for years. We really believe that live in-club experience is a pinnacle. That's what our business ultimately is looking to inspire, because it's about connection and community. We're a human business, and we love personal human connection. And we know, just like you said, customers are looking for convenience, which allows them to work out around their lives. We're busy. We've all got a lot going on. So we've been pushing that omni-channel experience for many, many years. And COVID came along and really helped everyone's eyes get a little bit more open to getting there faster. And that's what we've really tried to capitalize on in the last 24 to 30 months. I think the thing that's interesting for us is we're ultimately about completing that ecosystem. We want to drive people into studios. We want to fill studios. We want people to experience the thrill of a live fitness experience. And we want to be making sure that those customers can be served at home, or if they're on the road when they're traveling. And that's what Les Mills Plus allows us to do. So we're looking to complete that. We think the last 24 months have helped us as a business get there faster, definitely accelerated our business as well, albeit it came with many challenges, just like the industry experienced. And we're passionate about growing the industry as a whole.
For sure. Do you talk about, I guess, publicly how big those different sectors of the business are? And if not from like maybe a monetary perspective, just in terms of maybe percentage makeup, and how you think about what is the kind of perfect
Absolutely.
breakout and balance across all the, instructor, digital, in-person, et cetera?
Yeah, we do. So we talk about having 21,000 clubs, gyms around the world that we work with, and we've worked with those for over 40 years. And we talk about having 130,000 instructors that are certified Les Mills instructors. And we talk about having just under 500,000 direct-to-consumer relationships that are active, working out with us every single month. We've got aspirations to grow all of those communities. We'd love to see all of those communities double over the next 24 to 36 months. And that might feel aspirational, but we definitely believe the opportunity is there. As a business, we've always dreamed big. We've got big aspirations, and we've really wanted to make sure that we help the world be better through people working out. And we've got to do that at scale if we're really going to make that impact. A fitter planet comes from doing things at scale. It doesn't just do it piece by piece, person by person. We've got to be able to scale at some point. And that's really what we're putting our focus on right now. And that allows us to make a bigger impact all around the world. And we call it performance for purpose. So if our business is strong, if our business is healthy, then we can scale faster and we can reinvest back into the category.
Yeah, absolutely. When you think about, continuing to drive that growth and wanting to double that reach and impact from a growth plan, right? What are some of those, whether you think of them as tactics or priorities or even the roadmap to say, it's taken us maybe 50 years to get to this point and continuing to double growth, right? What are the things that are going to get you there?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few basic enablers. At the core of it, it's just making sure you have amazing product. And like I said earlier, we believe we're a content business. So at a time where there is just so much choice and there is so much quantity, we believe it ultimately comes down to quality. So you're not going to differentiate yourself by making yourself worse. You're going to differentiate yourself by choosing the best and building the best customer experience around that. So we strive to be the best in the industry through our content and our product. And we're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to invest in that. So at the core of it, it's our content, which we call our product. The second is the digital experiences that we're able to provide you as customers on our platforms. We know we've got to continue to lift the bar. We know we've got to continue to get better there. So we're investing really hard in our technology platforms and in our ability to reach more customers in a way that they want to be, with really inspiring, simple user journeys and just inspirational technology features. So we're investing big time into our tech, our roadmap around that space. And then it's about people and capability. And the third one is around how do we just build the best team? A team that really helps us reach, aim big, achieve some of those goals, brings in expertise from other industries, because we're all learning. I've worked now across three to four industries, depending on how you categorize them. And that's really helped round out my skills and bring a different perspective to what we as a business can achieve. So those three components, we think if we can invest really well in our content, we can invest really well in our technology for that reach, and we can bring great people together to create a championship winning team, we believe we've got the formula to continue to accelerate our growth.
Yeah, certainly checking all the right boxes and laser focused on continuing to move the needle. I'd be curious to hear how you think about, from that live and in studio or in gym and the instructor perspective, is there still a sense, I guess, still assuming that there was ever one pre-COVID, right? That somehow this digital was going to cannibalize or detract from what they were trying to do, right? Because in some ways, yes, the overarching kind of Les Mills brand and product offering benefits from the, omni-channel and being everywhere with the consumers. But some of those operators and certainly some of the instructors still have to say, like, I need these people to come to my class. Like, I need them to be
Absolutely.
there with me. So is it a conversation with them like, hey, this is how it benefits all of us? And is it a concern that, they're off put by what you're trying to do from like a digital and technology perspective?
I believe it was more of a conversation before COVID.
Mm.
I think it's less of a conversation now. I think everyone understands now that digital just helps your business, your service, your proposition become better. For those operators that maybe saw it as really competitive, will now see it as complementary.
Mm.
And I think that's the opportunity. So yeah, it's a constant education. I mean, I used to work in retail. I used to work in sportswear when I worked at Nike, and we definitely went through exactly the same thing when we went from being a wholesale business selling to big key accounts to also building out a direct to consumer business. And what you've seen when done well is that you actually grow the category as a whole. You bring more people in, you grow the strength of the category, you help open people's eyes that might not have considered your brand beforehand. So it can be a win-win. It absolutely needs to be a win-win. And I think that's what we believe we can bring with our omni-channel approach, which is we've got deep relationships with clubs. We know for a fact that hundreds of thousands, millions of customers, consumers started their fitness journey through COVID at home. They might never have gone into a gym before, but now through getting comfortable and getting a bit more confident by using digital solutions such as Les Mills Plus, they now go to a gym and they use that as part of their fitness proposition. So we've seen people drive both ways. We also know that from our research, 60% of people want an in-gym experience, 40% want to be able to also work out at home. And of the people having an in-gym experience, 80% are using fitness apps, digital fitness apps to work out at home or around their life. So we believe clubs have to offer it. We want to be that choice with clubs. We've got services and solutions from Les Mills Plus to Les Mills Content, which allows you as a club owner to embed our content in your app or to drive people to Les Mills Plus and be an affiliate partner with us. So we think we can help you provide a solution that gives your members the same experience in club and also complemented at home.
Yeah, I think any like skepticism that there was around that, it's almost become obvious at this point, right? That there has to be a way to do those things in a complementary fashion such that you're capturing that demand that otherwise, whether they start online and go to the gym, whether they're going to the gym and
Totally.
supplementing that with at home, there's a version of this where it's not one or the other. And having these conversations with so many different operators and executives is just like everybody defaults to that place now. And it's not fighting the battle as much as it's like, we just have to figure it out.
Absolutely. And I think, you've talked about it in one of your most recent publications, the power of community and the culture of community. And we couldn't agree more. We absolutely believe that's core to our business. So what we're doing is we're kicking back off our big live, we call them live fitness rock shows.
Yep.
We're doing those Les Mills lives all around the world. We're inviting people into our communities. A lot of those people are going to be customers that might never have experienced a live fitness experience before. And we believe after coming to Les Mills Live in New Orleans or Les Mills Live in London, there's going to be thousands of customers that will consider going and doing live fitness in a club, in a gym, because of that experience. So we think we can complete that ecosystem and bring more people into the category.
If folks aren't familiar with them, some of the live events are really incredible. A ton of people, a ton of energy. Like I've never experienced it firsthand, but seeing the videos and the content and things that you all put out, it's definitely a sight to behold.
I mean, we'd love to host you. If you wanted to come to New Orleans or you wanted to come over to London, let us know. But yeah, London, we're planning to have 6,000 people over 2 days. You can imagine Body Pump with 2,000 people in the room or Combat with 3,500 people. It's just an epic hairs on the back of your neck experience. So I definitely encourage any of the listeners to get amongst it if you haven't experienced it yet.
Yeah, you talk about the community aspect of it, but also I think a lot of people, and it's something we try to drive home, that there are certain fitness seeking, demographics, and then there are people who are committed fitness seekers, but the vast majority of people are not going to the gym. They're not exercising, right? There's all types of things that we have to solve, to your point, to make a fitter planet around physical activity. And so events like that are really, when else are you going to be able to leave that kind of like gym intimidation or whatever, the phrase is behind, and just like go and have a good time. And oh, by the way, you're working out. And oh, by the way, you're around other people who are inspired by this.
Yeah, absolutely. And we just know there's so much pent up demand from the last 2.5 years of not being able to do that. So I think getting people back into live experiences where you can bring communities together and you can feel that group effect, which is what we call it, you really just have an amazing experience off the back of it. And I think if that can help drive people into clubs, fill studios, help instructors pack out their classes, then it's got to be a win-win.
For sure. You mentioned some of the names that are familiar to me, the Body Combat and what were they again, so I don't mess them up?
Yeah, so Body Pump is our barbell strength, Body Combat, grit. We've got a lot of programs across multiple categories that we help service. So if you're a club looking to fulfill a strength category, or body balance for yoga, HIIT, which is our grit, we've got something for you. We love cycle. We've got 3 awesome cycle programs, and we really believe we have a solution for you as a club owner to be able to offer something that your customers will be looking for and fill your studios. And then for people at home as well, we've also introduced low impact recovery and some of those other solutions that we know customers are looking for that really helps you complement. Maybe you've been for a run and you want to be able to work out how you roll out your IT band and just really sort of work on your recovery a little bit more. We have all of those. We have mindfulness, we have breath work, meditation. That's all on our Les Mills Plus app. So we've got 1,500 workout options on Les Mills Plus across multiple different programs. So we think there's something for everyone. And we're working hard on making sure that that's a fitness experience online or in club that really just inspires you to want to keep working out.
Yeah, I think with that, some of the programming and certainly the instructor trainings and how it's delivered in club, again, having been more familiar with that from like seeing it in the group setting and from the instructor training aspect of it, but evolving that. And now you're saying like this being a content business, and especially from a digital and technology side, what has gone into the production of that, the instructors and talent that are on there, and how people, you're able to deliver a diverse kind of fitness experience, recommend, personalize, all those things from the technology side.
Absolutely, so much. I mean, hundreds and thousands of hours. We spend hundreds of millions of dollars over the years in perfecting our content. We absolutely obsess about every single part of it. The workouts, the science that goes into making sure that we're giving you the best move to really perfect your results, the choreography and the hours and hours of training. We test all of our classes in gym for months before we look to film it and then release it. So we really, really perfect and craft all aspects of bringing that content together. When we then film, we film with up to 15 cameras on different design sets with instructors from all around the world that have trained and rehearsed for multiple hours. So there's a lot that goes into really continuing to try and perfect our craft. And at the core of that, it's about just making the best content. And I think if you've experienced our content, you know what I mean. There's just so many layers of detail. And then we spend hours and hours in terms of instructor training. How do you train instructors? How do you help instructors really hit the right cues? How do you help them motivate, but also give good coaching when needed to make sure that as that end user, you're getting just the best experience? Because if you can be motivated, if you can get motivated more than you've been before to stay working out, and then if you can see the results that comes from that, and that's mental and physical results. It's no longer just physical. We know that many of our customers are looking for mental results. And that's why we've now introduced mindfulness, breath work, meditation to complement some of our other mind-body solutions, such as body balance. And we believe we've got something for everyone. But the craft that we put into trying to perfect that, we've done for over 50 years now. And I hope you can see that when you look at our content and the overall experience that you as a customer might experience when you go to one of our classes.
Yeah, it's really interesting what you hit on there. It's something that is, another kind of focal point, or maybe even I want to say more than a trend, and almost like a flag in the ground that people are aspiring towards, and that is this kind of evolving definition of fitness and health and wellness and
Yep.
all these words coming together, right? Which ultimately is like, people just want to feel good. They want to feel better about themselves. They want to feel better about their energy levels and their mental health and how they look when they look in the mirror. And for, kind of fitness focused brands, it can be a challenge sometimes to think like, well, how do I appeal to them? You talked about meditation and breath work and stretching and some of those things that are more recovery focused. Have
Yeah.
you thought further down that path of like, what does it look like to appeal to these other aspects of well-being that like ultimately you're providing that service and feeling, so you want to meet them where they are?
Absolutely. And I think core of what we do is we know we've got to continuously evolve. I mean, we've been evolving for over 50 years and the customer evolves. Gen Z as a customer group now is the biggest, fastest growing gym member group. And we know that they're the end of the consumer group that is now coming into studios, coming into gyms. They're the people that we now need to be making sure we make great content for and the right classes for. So we continue to stay at the forefront of trends, absolutely. And we're continuously trying to push and to make sure that we're making the right programs and producing the right content to best serve those customer groups. But innovation is in our DNA. It's been in our DNA for many, many years. We're consistently looking to innovate, whether that be our equipment business, which we call smart tech, our barbells and the solutions that we offer within that, or most recently our venture into body combat VR. We wanted to have a play in the metaverse. We understand that there are customers in that category that might not necessarily ever have been to a gym. And if we can inspire them to get off the couch and potentially consider going to a gym or working out with us on Les Mills Plus, then that's a massive win as well. So we launched Body Combat VR earlier this year, and we've seen some awesome success with it. It was really a test. We're venturing into that space with a partnership with Otters, which are developers that are based out of Europe. And we think we've been able to put something out there that's reasonably strong in comparison to what else is around it. We're seeing it one of the top rated fitness apps. We sold over 50,000 units in a few months. And we're seeing really strong demand from people that have never considered our brand or potentially even the category before, and getting people into fitness. So it's about meeting them where they are, just like you said.
Yeah, with that, I was definitely wanting to kind of touch on the VR launch there, and it's from a high level, right? You see all these things, kind of the evolution of gaming and trying to reach maybe either a younger consumer or somebody who is
Yeah.
not the in gym typical kind of persona of somebody who's a gym goer, and just trying to again be where people are. How do you go from like, hey, we see this thing and we recognize that we might even want to test it, to then getting something out there in the world? What was that experience like?
You choose to take some calculated swings. You see some trends, you understand you're going to need to invest in it. You do it in the smartest way you possibly can. You wrap some of your best people around it. We've got two of our best trainers part of that program. We know that content is what we do. We've been making an amazingly immersive fitness experience called The Trip for many years now. And if you haven't experienced The Trip, I'd encourage you to get out of there and do it. But you're cycling through these unreal, amazing worlds where you're just immersed in the content with great music and just graphics on screen that take you to another place. So we knew where we wanted the bar to be in terms of the graphics and that application using the Unreal Engine. And we worked with some providers that were able to meet that and service that. And it took us over 12 months. So yeah, it's a calculated swing that you choose to invest in. And some of those calculated swings don't come off and some do. And we think this is a really interesting one for us. but it's definitely something we are still learning in. So Body Combat is our focus on it now. We put it out as you purchase it once, you download it, but we're now going to offer other upsell mechanisms to give people additional content. And then who knows where it will go. If the demand continues to be as strong as it is and it continues to rate as one of the best fitness apps on the App Store, then we'll potentially look to continuously evolve that.
Yeah, and then even with the VR component of it, another thing that, I'm also thinking about, especially when having conversations from an executive side, is like they wanting to do all these things, but then also making sure that it's an integrated experience, right? So that when you're in the club, when you're digital, maybe even in the metaverse, is a consumer experiencing this part of like one login and one account, or is it at this point maybe more siloed?
It's definitely the aspiration is to have one complete fitness experience. And ultimately for us, that's what omnichannel means. You might go to a club, you might do a body pump class in club on a Tuesday morning, and then you might choose to do a body pump at home through Les Mills Plus later in the week, supplemented by Les Mills Core. And ultimately, if a club can choose to have us help them provide that comprehensive ecosystem, then it can be one integrated experience because you get the same experience as you do in club, albeit it might be live at home with the same trainers or instructors on stage. So that's definitely the aspiration, but it does come down to being able to agree and work on those solutions with club partners, with instructors, and making sure that technology continues to allow us to enable that. So we're not 100% there yet, definitely not. But that is the aspiration. And that is what we believe helps us really continue to better serve customers and give them an experience that really just feels seamless.
Yeah. And I think the other component that you mentioned was the smart tech, the smart equipment, and that being around some of the barbells and certainly what you're selling into clubs and then the instructors are using. Is there also, I think I remember at one point, maybe it was a bike that there was some press around.
Yeah.
Is there a direct to consumer kind of smart tech segment, and how is that, kind of performing and looking?
Yeah, we're working on a direct to consumer equipment solution at the moment. We know our Les Mills Plus members are looking for different solutions for them at home where space might be a premium or they don't have the area to store it. So we're working hard on home solutions now. So watch the space. You'll see something later in the year. We did launch a bike in partnership with Stages, which is for the gym floor. And it's our content on a Stages bike. And it's been really well received. We're seeing some fantastic bookings off the back of it. And it just helps you get out of the studio onto the gym floor, but also still get that group fitness experience on a bike. And that's been going extremely well for us. I mean, smart tech is something that we've had around or have had around now for many years. And ultimately, that was about reinventing equipment. That was around bringing innovation to equipment. So we're looking to continuously push the bar in that space. But we know that when you do a pump class with our smart tech, the experience is just better. The bar feels better. The weights fit better. The bench and how it all comes together is definitely considered as one system of working out. So that's what we're looking to try and do. And we believe that helps make the omnichannel experience even stronger.
For sure. As all this evolves and how Les Mills has approached it, right? And being everywhere and innovating on content and innovating on instructors and providing an omnichannel solution for gyms and users. So it's pretty clear what your strategy is and continuing to even push that into the metaverse. For the broader industry, do you think it's, inevitable or even necessary that some of these maybe direct to consumer brands push into physical locations, brick and mortar experiences, community, and vice versa? Or do you think it's enough to specialize and we can be that provider maybe in digital, and then people will just go maybe elsewhere for that in-person community experience? It's kind of this like, do we try to be everything to everyone, or do we specialize in this one thing and hope that we can, achieve that mark for them where we specialize?
Ultimately, as a business owner, or if you're a team running a business, you got to play to your strengths. And I think there's been some time over the last few months where people have ultimately had opportunities to go into new areas or into new categories, and they've seen some success there. And then potentially consumer behavior has changed or has gone back to maybe what was before, and things have become a little bit harder. I think it's inevitable that there's going to be some players that will absolutely look to play into different areas, whether it be bricks and mortar, whether it be retail. But I think you're also going to see real focus and specialization. I think as well, at the same time, you're going to see consolidation within the industry. There's been so many new players come to the category. And while there might have been demand for that over the last 30 months, that demand might shift. So I think you're going to see consolidation, absolutely. But I do think you'll see players that continue to offer an omnichannel experience, just like our strategy does. And at the same time, a few that will just specialize in what they're great at. And we encourage all of them. Now, ultimately, at the end of the day, we want the category to be healthy, to have a really good story wrapped around it, to be great for customers, for gym goers, but also for shareholders. We want there to be great news stories coming out of businesses that have really invested in fitness and done well from it. So, ultimately, a rising tide's going to lift all boats. And if we can help be a part of that, and if other businesses can help be a part of that, then we're right behind them.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe just a couple more questions as we near the end of the conversation, to the point of, potential consolidation. Do you look at Les Mills as an acquirer? Do you aspire to be? It seems like maybe it's taking the approach of building a lot more things in-house and focusing on team and, evolving and innovating over time. Or is it an aspiration to say like, hey, let's go out and see what we can combine to improve the overall experience?
It's absolutely an aspiration at some point, but our focus right now is on making sure our business is as strong and is as healthy as it can be. So we are very focused on our current game plan, which is our strategy. We believe the focus on that for the next 24 to 36 months is where we need to be putting our time. But aspiration wise, we absolutely are looking to be as big and as dominant globally as we can be so that we can inspire more customers and get more people working out. And if that means going through a partnership or moving towards a liquidity event or getting external investment, then it's going to be something we consider, but just not right now. It's not our focus today. But our aspirations are big. And at some point, that means we'll continue to look up, and make sure that we're considering all opportunities in front of us. Our business is strong. We've been able to come out of the last 30 months with the strongest balance sheet we've ever had. We're really well capitalized. We've got some big, ambitious plans that are going to take and need investment that we're investing in now. And right now, we believe we've got a really strong plan to help us get there. And ultimately, if you can just execute your plan well, if you can do a good job of what you're trying to do and ultimately better serve customers, then people come knocking. People want to come and talk and opportunities present themselves. So we're just focused on doing the best job we possibly can today.
Yeah, heads down and staying focused and continuing to build and execute. And maybe with that, and to the extent that you can foreshadow or tease a little bit of what we can expect. I think more recently, certainly the evolution of digital, pushing into VR and the metaverse have been a few things, kind of big public announcements. Are there things on the roadmap that we should look out for, or even things that you're excited about as you continue to execute that plan?
Yeah, there's always things on the roadmap. You have to be consistently innovating and pushing. There's nothing I can announce today, but we've got some really exciting components in the business that are going to help us also future-proof and go in a different direction or complement components of our business that maybe we're not necessarily strong in today. So nothing I can announce today, but definitely watch the space. There is absolutely things coming. But innovation around our programs, our classes, really being able to appeal to Gen Z and making sure that we're appealing to that next wave of gym goers and fitness enthusiasts coming into the category is where we've got to be, making sure that we have strong partnerships to do that. Now, we believe partnerships play a big part in our business. If we can scale with others, bring two people, like-minded partners together to do some amazing things, we're 100% up for that as well. So yeah, watch the space. You're going to see some exciting things from us in the coming months.
Yeah, we will definitely do that. I hope listeners do as well. And if they were to follow along and watch for updates, where would you point them? Where's the best place to learn more?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you can go into clubs. We're in 21,000 clubs around the world, and you can see and service our experiences there. Follow us on all of our social channels. We're active in all channels, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, we're there. We've got strong presence. You can experience us there. I'd also ask you to come along and experience one of our live events. I think we're coming to key cities all around the world over the next 12 months. If you're in London, if you're in New Orleans, you want to travel, get out to experience something reasonably exciting and something that's definitely going to get the hairs on the back of your neck sticking up, come to one of our live events over the next 12 months. I think you're going to fall in love with fitness. And if we can help more people fall in love with fitness, we're definitely on that path to creating that fitter planet.
Yeah, likewise. That's a fantastic mission and something that we're obviously super passionate about. So I appreciate you taking a few minutes today to share that with us, and definitely encourage people to check it out.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. We're loving what you're doing and the communities you're building. So thanks for having us a part of that.